Eric Polly here from erpolley.com, ERPOLLEY. Check out the website. I've made some edits. You can hire a freelance animator, that being me, if you go to that website and click on that little Let's Chat icon here at the bottom right that I am currently blocking, because that's the professionalism that I bring to the table. No, everything, 2D, 3D, special effects, whatever you need, I can make it happen. In this clip, this video that I am making here, I am actually going to be generating some assets for a project that I have been working on, and let me click around and bring Blender over to the main screen before I get into the actual animation of what I'm trying to do. Well, let's talk about where and what I'm trying to do. So I have a scene here. As you can see, this is what it would look like with some textures. I'm going to bring the textures down with a viewport shading currently, so I do not start my graphics card up. I don't really need it to be running while I am working on this project here. I am going to actually be creating something in Animate CC and then importing it onto a plane with a transparent background, and that's going to eat up some memory, especially if I do it multiple times, which is what I plan on doing. I'd like to bring in multiple assets right around here, and that asset being, let's see, bat upside down. Yeah. So I'm trying to pick up some reference here because I think I want it to start looking a little bit more like this right here. I think I'm going to draw it. So in this particular video, I don't think I'm going to get much past the key poses in a rough draft format. So there may be a part 2 to this video. I'm not exactly sure, to be honest with you. But essentially what I want to happen is the bat will drop down and start to fly from here towards the screen, and then when the camera goes off of the screen, you will no longer see the bat. So really, it's a very simple animation that I am going to try and implement with traditional 2D animation. We'll see how this works. So currently I'm looking over and over again at my Blender project to kind of use it as reference to where this bat's going to be flying. Now it's going to be a little bit tricky, and it's going to look different as I'm animating it compared to how it's going to look in Blender, because as far as the actual motion graphic itself, I will be doing all of that inside of Blender. So as far as Animate CC is concerned, the bat itself is going to be stationary. And I'm going to animate it inside of a symbol. But yeah, I'm going to start with a symbol. So I could just go up here and start with a symbol, but I might as well just draw a line. I prefer it that way, so that way if I accidentally back out of it, I can see what I'm doing. And I'm just going to hit F8 to create a new symbol, and this will be bat main anime shun. That's how you spell that. See, you're learning, I'm learning, we're learning together here. Spelling. That's what grade are we in? 3rd grade here? We'll figure it out. We'll get to it. Yeah, so first order of business, I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to bring up my reference art here on the main screen that you can't see. One screen at a time for you, pal. I don't know. So I'm going to start with... So I'm not going to rig up anything just yet. I am going to start with... So I'm going to use a bat that's actually right side up, and it's gonna look very odd, like it's standing, but really it's gonna be hanging. And as far as I know, really it's gonna be hanging off of nothing. So I think its feet are gonna be flat. Now, I can always change these colors later, so I'm gonna start with black because I think I can just select all and edit that way. So let's see what I got going on here. It's gonna be very cartoony because cartoony is my style, I think. Okay, let's do some wings that are closed. So I'm gonna do kind of like this, 2, 3, and that's gonna go up to a point, sort of, and then another one goes kind of like this. It has more of an angle than that, I think. So I'm gonna Control Z and undo that, because what has been done must be undone. Hopefully you're getting a crack out of this. So now the little fella is gonna be sticking out of here, and we want a bit of a face. Now this is all basic shape stuff that I'm going to edit later and make it clean and fancy. So I kind of actually want gigantic eyes, which look kind of goofy. Actually, now that I see it in a two-dimensional space. But I kind of like it. It adds a little bit of cuteness. Maybe we'll see what it looks like. Little beady eyes. Nah, I like the big eyes. The big eyes seem right. And to give you a better idea, I can animate them. I could draw them on a separate layer and fill them in with black. I guess that's pretty accurate, but yeah. Since generally a bat's eye is just like all black, excuse me, or all brown, a brownish black color. So for me, I'm gonna use almost all the way black, and it's gonna look similar to that. And then let's bring up the brush and add like a little nose. That's kind of how it looks. Kind of looks like a mouth when it's like that. Let's go like this, and then add the nose like that. That seems a little bit more on point. Now I'm drawing with like a brownish weird color, and I'm just gonna cut it off and add it to the main layer because I don't want to use that many layers. Now I'm gonna go down and create a keyframe and delete that, and let's turn on the onion skin so I can kind of duplicate what I'm doing here. So when this bat wing opens, it's kind of more up here, and it starts to open up similar to that. Now I should actually change my file here to be set on 60 frames, since that's the final animated project's amount of frame rate. And this is going to be tricky for me because I'm used to animating on 24 when it comes to 2D animation. In fact, I think most people are. So this is going to be a little weird for me. But that's kind of the idea. I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone here and animate some really fun looking animation. Now, second wing is going to be opening up as well. That's too small. Schmarg. And let's do a little boop right there. Bring that inside. Now again, this is just going to be strictly for reference. The head can basically stay the same. It's not really that important at this point because I might actually put the head inside of a symbol, seeing as how it's not really going to move. And yeah, let's bring that. I kind of like this square looking face, as snoot as I like to call it. And I'm gonna fill these things in. I'm not really sure why. I shouldn't really, but again, it's for my own reference, so be it. And I'll bring down little feets, as I like to call them. I really like onion skin because you can get away with doing some stuff. These are all technical terms. You probably don't even know what I'm talking about. It's stuff. You could look it up in the dictionary. It basically means whatever you're saying. Any hoozle. I should make that little edit so that I kind of know. So it's interesting. As I'm looking at an open bat wing, it kind of just starts. It doesn't really. It's like almost see-through. So when it comes time to create a bend in the wing, it's more of it's more paper-like than anything. It doesn't, but without creases. Just I don't know. So I'm gonna draw it similar to paper, but so here's its little body, and I want to bring out the wing similar to this. And that will be the inside of the wing here. And I'm going to do the same thing over here at this point. Both the wings will be doing about the same thing. And oh, I should probably have mentioned, this is definitely not a tutorial, so if you're trying to follow along, fantastic, but that's not necessarily what this is supposed to be. I'm working on my own project as a show of proof, or a work in progress project, so you can kind of see how everything is made that I do make, and understand that it is a time consuming process, clearly, because this is just an asset for the project that I'm working on, and this is the rough draft, and I've been recording for 12 minutes, and I have a few drawings. Now, that being said, I am obviously explaining a lot of what I'm doing, and I'm doing a lot of talking and stuff that I normally wouldn't do if I'm trying to whip out a project. This looks pretty cute. He looks kind of chunky, so maybe that is something that I will want to fix later. Let's do F6. It's supposed to be F7. Let's delete this. Remove frame. And essentially, once I get to the flying portion, I'm going to just throw that traditionally animated set of flying into a symbol that can repeat. There's no sense in waste. So now this little clip right there is the only thing that's really not connected, or not laid flat. Not connected. Yeah, the wing just pops off of a bat. I don't know if you knew that's how bats fly. Well, you know what? I might as well fix that. The fact that he's chunky. Bring it down like that. Kind of like that. I'll probably change the shape of his body a little bit when I come down to the final project. So I'm gonna bring this like that, and let's do a similar shape. That's not right. Let's bring it out like this. Bring it down like that. Now I should kind of do like that. Alright. Now I'm obviously cartoonizing the wings and everything. I almost feel like not drawing the head. I'm just going to draw a circle with two circles like that. so I know where the head's supposed to be. Maybe a little snoot, just to give an idea of where everything is. And then I just doodled it because, again, it's only for my own reference. So, oh no, am I drawing an object? I don't want that. Again, I guess it doesn't really matter because it's only for reference. However, if I come down to edit it, it's going to be a problem. But I don't plan on editing it. Now, I think this is going to take longer. Wait a second. Why is it 1 second for document? 60. Okay. There we go. See, now you kind of get the idea that it plays so fast. It generally looks like a wingspan opening. And then basically from this point, I think that the bat can just start flying. So really the wings are just going to move up and down. I don't really plan on making it too crazy. And then we'll do a little head. And I like these triangle wings. You know, I didn't even realize it's almost Halloween. I guess that makes sense why I'm trying to make it. Or it doesn't make sense. I'm just like falling into the theme. And then the feet need to start kind of dragging behind. So there's that little dudes. And again, this is just for reference, since I'm probably honestly gonna put the head inside of a symbol. There's not really a reason not to. That's not gonna be animated really. The head's just gonna stay stationary. Stationary. Now bring it all the way up here. And do kind of the same thing over here. And then once this is done, I'm going to have this repeat on the timeline for the duration. Finish it out to where it's about, I don't know, 12 seconds long, just to make sure that it does stay on screen as long as you are in that tunnel before the camera changes in that 3D space that I showed you earlier. I'm super doodling its head now because I don't think I'm gonna need to use it for my own reference later. And I don't know how many times I can explain that exact same thing for why do I do these things. And you know what, we could grab this one. I think it's only gonna need, shoot, 1, 2, I guess it could just duplicate this one. I just copied and pasted it. And that's a little trick for those in the know. The no-nos bleeds. I don't know. I try to make jokes. You know, watching me draw, I can't imagine being the most entertaining thing. I guess I like watching other people draw, so I'm super entertained by it. Especially if it's something that I don't know how to do. Now, we can kind of get a better idea of how this is going to look if I actually complete the lines. So its body is not going to be completely separate from the wings. There's not really a reason for it. Other than when it comes time to color. But when I do color the final bat, I'm going to use a line in the middle of drawing through its torso, so then I can deviate the color of its body from the color of the wings. And I think I'm going to use a gradient on the actual body itself and the wings. The wings definitely need a gradient because they become a little bit more see-through, and I think I might actually add some opacity because of that. Now, 1, 2, 3. So it looks like it's flying now. I'm not sure about the timing. Let's kind of just get a playthrough. Oh, not space, enter. Could probably actually delete a couple of these frames. Remove, and remove, remove. There's probably an easier way to do that. It's not delete key, you know that. Control delete, Alt delete, Shift delete. Nope, none of those things. Backspace. Nope, that just deletes the entire thing like I do not want to do. I'm going to remove frame, and that should actually look a lot more consistent. That looks pretty darn good. If I was animating this at 24 frames per second, honestly, it would just be animated on 2s essentially, so 1 every other frame. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. It was paste frames, which I wish it could just read my mind and know what I'm trying to do here. It definitely does not. So let's see what that looks like. No. Yeah, it looks like it's flying. I think that'll be enough because there should only be 1 or 2 bats really flying at the screen. So it'll sit here, open its wings, and then start to fly. And yeah, that looks pretty clean. I'm gonna add feet to this. It's bothering me. Now, so what do I want to do to make it turn? So it drops down. Really, it could just drop down and then I could turn it around inside a blender. So when I'm over here, it's going to be right about here. And then as it drops, quite literally, it can open up its wings as it's falling and then kind of pick itself up and bring itself up. And then it can travel towards the screen as the camera is moving towards the screen as well, the screen that we're currently looking at. Oh gosh, I hope that makes any sort of sense. But that's traditionally animated bat right here. And basically I'm just going to redraw it over here. I'm going to lock this and save. And what do I want? Not bouncing ball. That's ridiculous. Let's open a new folder called Flying Bat 2D. And this is just going to be another asset that I am adding to the floating castle animated short. Yeah. So let's call it again Flying Bat 2D 001 and save it again in case I accidentally mess something up here in a second. I can come back and open up the original file. So see, that's the problem with creating an object drawing, is now I can't fill it in. But really I don't need to, again, because I'm going to delete all that stuff anyways. So that's the basic layout of what I'm about to start animating with this bat. I'm going to clean it up, maybe add some in-betweens to smoothen out the way that the wings are opening and the amount of in-betweens for while its wings are moving, and so it kind of looks a little smoother. I may or may not need to do that, so, and I will catch you next time. That's my finger. Yeah. Thanks for watching. I'll see you at erpley.com.